Boker Tov, good morning. I'm looking forward to our time together this morning. Nice to see people filing in as we return to our regular day here on Tuesday. Yes, good morning, welcome. It's a little bit gray today on the outside. I hope it's not gray today on the inside. Yeah, take a deep breath. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Boker Tov, good morning, and welcome back to this daily offering of Sinai streams from Temple Sinai Congregation of Toronto. Our opportunity each morning to say Boker Tov to one another and to connect, to reflect, and to remember. And I'm ready this morning, I hope you are as well, for us to begin our day with some of the traditional prayers from our morning service. And I want to act today like I've never heard them before. Just as we join in the words, I'm going to recite the first two in English, and then the third one today in Hebrew and English, and hopefully try to open my mind and my heart to these words so that I hear them today for the first time. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And let's join together in this incredible mitzvah opportunity that is to learn and grow every day through the study of Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Va'arevna Adonai Eloheinu et divrei Toratcha b'finu ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה, ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you sanctify our lives with mitzvot and command us to engage in Torah study. Eternal our God, may your words of Torah be sweet to us. Let every generation, young and old, the whole family of Israel, come to know you through the study of Torah for its own sake. Eternal God, we praise you as the teacher of Torah to the people of Israel. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud av va'em, to honor fathers and mothers. Ugmilut chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness. Ashkamad bet midrash shacharit ve'arvit, to attend the house of study morning and evening. Vachnasat ochim, to welcome the stranger. Uvikul cholim, to visit the sick. Vachnasat kala, to provide for brides and grooms. Levayat hamet, to keep faith with the dead. Viyun tfilah, to pray with sincerity. Vava'at shalom ben adam lachavero, to make peace when there is strife. V'tamud Torah keneged kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. The study of Torah is certainly powerful because it enables us to have a perspective on all of those things that we do. And hopefully we can take that perspective with us, in the words of the Shema, while we're walking on our way today. Each day includes so many different paths. As we do, let's bring our responsibilities and our opportunities, our sense of the sacred with us as we join together in the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'avta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meudecha. Ve'ayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha. Ve'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. Ve'shivtecha bevetecha uvlechtecha v'derech ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף בתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו. וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. And having joined together in this Shema together, these words that link us to our past and create the opportunity for us to link ourselves to our future as well, I want to take us back to the work today of Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Satanov and share the two characteristics that we're focusing on through his good work this week. Having talked a little further on Sunday about Savlanut, about patience, I want to talk a little more today about anava, about humility. But first, let's share these two characteristics by reciting the reminder lines aloud. Humility. Keep silent in order to learn from all those around you, acknowledging what is lacking in you and seeking to fix it. This way, you will learn to turn your mind away from your strengths or from the defects of others. Patience. When something bad happens to you that you could not have avoided by being careful, don't make it even worse through pointless sorrow. Well, as I mentioned this morning, I want to focus on the idea of humility. And it's interesting, a few things that he starts out with. First of all, the link to silence. That so often I find myself, I work actively against doing this when I'm listening to another, rather than being silent and hearing. I find myself dividing my attention and formulating my next statement, my next response. And that's a normal human characteristic, but not a positive one, and one that I work on every day, because part of humility is actually focusing on the other and listening all the way through, rather than working to try to show our own wisdom or knowledge or being more focused on our response than what it is we are responding to. I find that work to be challenging, but really important. And it means that I need to push myself, we each can push ourselves to really see and value those around us. Not seeing what's lacking in others, but seeing what is it that we can learn from them. And that brings us to a very famous statement that I think summarizes this challenge in the way that it's shared. It comes from chapter 4 of Pirkei Avot, the beginning of the 4th chapter of this amazing section in the Mishnah that really brings these challenging individual statements of the great scholars of old. And in chapter 4, we're just going to focus on the beginning, but I have on screen also the line from Psalms, because it's interesting to see the translation issues here. Chapter 4 brings the words of Ben Zoma. Notice it's not Rabbi Ben Zoma. Ben Zoma and Ben Azai were two great chachamim, two great wise sages who were not rabbis and who were as essential and as great teachers as anyone who wore a title. And Ben Zoma said, Ezu chacham halomed min kol adam. Who is the one who is wise? The one who learns from everyone, as it is said. And now let's look at the translations. Here in Pirkei Avot, it says, from all who taught me have I gained understanding, right? All of my melamed, every teacher, I've learned from. And now look on the right in the translation that we find without context of Psalm 119, verse 99. There it is, and it says, I have gained more insight than all my teachers. So there are two ways to understand these three words. Because the letter mem, the first letter on the third line of the Mishnah on the left, if you can see my cursor, I'm circling the letter right now. Mem can mean from, meaning I learned from them, or it can mean more than the others, right? The mem is used in Hebrew to show something is greater in amount than something else. So these three words can either mean I've learned from each and every one of my teachers, or it can mean I have more insight than all my teachers. I think this is not merely a translation issue. This is an internal and eternal challenge issue for each of us. That there is a natural human direction for us to take pride in our knowledge, and that's a good thing. Yet, it can get in the way of us continuing to learn. It can prevent us from opening ourselves and saying from each person, no matter what their level or their background or their knowledge or their titles or any of that, from every person I encounter, can I keep that question in my mind, what can I learn? Rather than trying to set up a hierarchy of knowledge and wisdom. Rather than trying to say, well, I'm smarter than this teacher or that one. I've learned more than this student or that one. We naturally compare ourselves with others, but the trait of humility challenges us to always make our first comparison to ourselves, to see that we are growing beyond the self that we were the day before and growing toward a self that is more open, more knowledgeable, and more respectful of the opportunity to learn from everybody who is around us. I think that challenge of always remembering that my goal each day is to be quiet and to learn from the people around me so that I can truly increase and grow my own person, my own knowledge, my own character. I think that is one of the key elements to us being able to make humility a healthy part of ourselves, of our character. So let's now continue onward with our prayer for healing. And I'm wishing healing for all those who are ill and facing physical difficulty of any kind, physical, mental, any kind of illness. I'm sending this out to those who are isolated, those who are experiencing being alone, and all those who show courage in standing up with us and for us. For all of them we share, and for any you might add in the chat to be included in our prayers this morning, we include these, we share these words of refuah. Mishberach Avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, v'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah v'Rachel, v'yirapeh kol makutenu. Yhi ratzon milfenecha Adonai Eloheinu, lachal imam v'larapotam, yishlach lanu mehera refuah shlema v'ateret shalom, v'nomar amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and together we say, amen. I really do look forward each day to this wonderful opportunity for us to connect and to reflect. But no question that this moment of memory helps balance that and honors those who traveled our journey with us to this point and gives us the opportunity to continue to take them with us on our paths. We now recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. During the period of Shloshim, the past 30 days, we extend our condolences to the families of Alan Fridson, Rose Rich, Benji Fruitman, Judy Gabai, Helene Frankie Springer, Margot Grossbane, Rabbi Mark Shapiro, Janice Siegel. And it is our sad duty to announce the death of our member Edith Grossman, mother of George. The funeral will take place today at 2 p.m. from the Temple Sinai section of Pardes Shalom Cemetery. Unfortunately, as we know, at times like this, funerals are limited to family. And so it's not a service that any of us can just attend. But our spirits will be there with Edith, who's been at Shul every week for so many decades. And now on Yort site, on the 14th of Av, we on their Yort site, this year falling on the 4th of August, we remember Eve DeBow, June Dorothy Filler, Min Firestone, Frank Garber, Isidore Gold, Philip Levy, Lydia Meyer, Benjamin Obrant, Jacob Rosenfeld, Henry Rusak, Rosalind Shapiro, Albert Till, Gertrude Weiner, Saul Weinstein. Zichronam Livracha. May their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope in the Kaddish Yatom. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemerabah, ve'alma divrach Yehute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitpaleh v'yithalal Shmei Kudsha b'lichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'momav, ku yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say, Amen. Well, let's make this a wonderful, meaningful day, a day where we seek out learning and find it in everyone who we're lucky enough to share part of our day with, whether we share it on Zoom or on the phone, or even if we're lucky enough to share time with others safely distanced in person. Boker Tov. Have a wonderful day.